Hello everyone and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. This is episode 13 where last time we pulled back the curtain on quite a few things in terms of Solas's regrets. We had a meeting with the Inquisitor and Morrigan, who gave us a wolf statuette after informing us of the situation in the south, and then we got to take all of our other wolf statuettes that we'd collected so far and take a peek into the regrets of our Dreadwolf. And with those regrets come revelation of things that have been theorized and thought and spoken about for so long throughout the course of Dragon Age and its lore. And it was very fun and very satisfying to talk through these things because I've had thoughts in my head lingering since the end of Trespasser and after the Descent DLC and just things like that about this series and wondering how they were going to handle it. And what was lovely is, you know, you can have so much mystery, so much intrigue about things, but eventually there's got to be some truth. And there's a time to pull back that curtain and to talk about what's really going on. And in a story like this, where it is about the veil being lifted, you know, like metaphorically and literally the veil being lifted, or at least an attempt on that is being made to put the world back how it was. That is the perfect time where you start learning the truth about things, where you have the Maker and Andraste and the human version of history, the Shaperit's version of history, how that history changes over time, the amount of different people that have contributed to those, those books and those codex entries. And then you have the elves, which started it all, and getting their involvement, the origins, if you will, the Dragon Age origins of this lore, of elves being spirits and then taking on physical form and then tapping into the power of the Blight. Now, this stuff is new and this stuff is really exciting. And then the explanation of how it connects to utilizing lyrium from the Titans and how the dwarves come about and those sorts of elements of it. Really, really fun and exciting. Same with like blights and archdemons and the Evanurus and all of that kind of stuff. So we'll definitely be getting into that. However, we are in the Lighthouse, and I started the episode paused because upon loading into the game, I can see that my companions are ready to talk to each other. So unfortunately, when you spawn close to characters, they'll start talking. So I just had to pause this, and we're going to listen to Harding and Lucanus have a chat, check in with our other companions, and then head back out into the world.
You mentioned you don't sleep, Lucanus?
I try not to, even less in Treviso.
But how do you stay awake? What do you do?
I clean my gear, exercise, work on my Orlesian vocabulary. Need.
Wait. The demon of Virantium lurks by night and knits?
What? It's just another kind of blade work. Dexterity training. Besides, good strangling cords cost a fortune these days.
That's great. Knitting is dexterity training. Yeah, don't mind me, guys. Just looking for a particular book or scroll. Certainly not eavesdropping on the conversation that I'm not a part of. Have a good day, guys. I couldn't find the book that I wanted here. Let's take a look at the map. We have Nev and Emmrich upstairs. We have Taash with a question mark. Are you kidding? Manfred and Hassan are together in Davrin's room. Okay, my two favorites. Cool. Wonderful. All right, I see. What? What is that? I said they were my two favorites, and now they actually are going to interact as well. A friendly hiss and a friendly squawk inbound. Hey guys, just coming to look at the statue.
I could sit with it for hours.
It's dramatic, I'll give it that.
Just dusting over here. Okay. Good talk, guys. Just dusting, you know. Doing my rounds. Let's see what's going on in here.
Okay, That's enough.
Suspicious.
Quiet now. Fine. Who wants a treat?
Oh, man. So, I was like, friendly squawk, friendly hiss, and it turned out to be suspicious.
Me? I want one.
Well, I don't have any.
Why'd you get my hopes up?
A little white lie to quell the riot.
Are you sure it's little to them? Yeah, Davrin, where's my treat?
Come on, guys, give me a break. Rook?
What are we all saying?
Well, it isn't be quiet.
Sorry. It's all I've got.
Waiting for Davrin disapproves.
Wait, you can't just leave me.
Good luck with that.
It would have been so funny if that just ended up being Davrin disapproves. God, that's hilarious. I love it. Look at him. Anything? Aren't they just so beautiful? They're just so great. Alright. Off we go. Got to capture that in photo mode forever. And now we can go check in with Taash. Taash has a question mark, an exclamation mark, rather, for us.
Hey, glad you stopped by. I was gonna grab drinks with the Lords of Fortune at the Hilt. Come along if you want. Get to know the Lords.
Sounds good.
Will Isabella be there? Dragon class. Alright. Looks like we've got a couple of things that I want to do today. One of those being Emmrich wants to walk the graves and Taash wants to go to Dragon class. Friends at the Hilt, the bar, the Lords of Fortune use as their base of operations. Okay. And despair demons have been banished from the lower Necropolis, but the depths call once again to Emmrich. The senior necromancer is duty-bound to return home. Alright. That one first. We will return via the crossroads. That way we're able to take a look around, get some banter. Maybe just for the sake of this, we'll do Emmrich and Taash as our crossroad companions. Maybe. We're going to do Emmrich's first, so I'll take Emmrich, and maybe we can give Emmrich a chance to actually talk with Valara, thinking about that, because we had Valara and Emmrich say a couple of things. It was confirmed that Valara was sending correspondence with Emmrich, so they could have some cool stuff.
Every time I walk into the crossroads, it feels, I don't know, sad, but also right.
The voices again.
Oh, here we go. Must be such a complex time for elves with this state. You know, you've got Davrin and Valara, and they both have different views on it. But they also aren't fighting each other, which is nice. I think Merrill and Fenris fought quite a lot.
Untold years asleep, only to see our sanctums defiled. Even Arlathan is trampled by cast-offs and mortals. We must secure the Alluvians.
We shall. The Ontom are uneasy in the crossroads, but they know their duty.
If they fail, give the best preserve to me for improvement.
Dead on, Tom. We're already on it.
if they fail, give them to me for improvement, and then they get turned into ogres. Damn. I like that we are able to at least get some of the conversations with Gillenane and Elganon. Because there's not really many opportunities that we're going to be able to converse with them ourselves, so we have to eavesdrop with the power of the dagger.
The deeper currents.
And it allows our player characters to understand the enemy's thoughts and feelings too. Instead of just witnessing like magical Kingdom Hearts cauldron type conversation of villains at their round table.
So...
Oh, Lara wants to speak. So... we'll get some banter. But when we head over into this side, this is where we'll get more wolf statuettes of Regrets of the Dread Wolf and the Heart of Corruption, and then over this side as well.
Oh?
Yes, indeed.
Elves came from spirits.
An incredible revelation of what happened thousands of years ago.
I asked Davern what he thought, and he just shrugged.
He would.
This is good too. The party banter that updates to reflect our story stuff. And while we've gotten some codex entries that have unfortunately slipped through a little early, it's good that that hasn't. Imagine getting some of these companion dialogue things dropping early and just being like, what? We'll sell the stuff that is more valuable to the crows. There you go. Slightly. Are we able to rank up the crows when we hit the threshold? Because it doesn't have like the screen on the side where it would usually have the vendor and then the rank up option. So, I mean, can you rank up a spirit? I don't know. little bit awkward.
There are no further signs of the Venatori. However, we may wish to send some back as cautionary examples to the rest.
Yes. I've fulfilled my oaths. The Venatori won't disturb us any longer.
Excellent. May our pacts with the dead hold true.
They will watch where we cannot.
Morgoth as a companion when?
The halls await.
We found a sealed door with an unfriendly spirit trapped inside.
Curious. I'm unfamiliar with any records regarding this entity. Proceed with caution.
Wear its words.
We shall see.
Prepare well.
Yeah, so we have the shop rank on the side here, usually. That's why I'm like, a bit curious about the whole thing. Purple flames. Ooh, hello.
Those are bones. Has this spirit been scattering someone's corpse around?
It considers this all a game. Let's return the remains to where they belong.
Oh, I'm on a limited time. You're also in here? Yes. And up there. A minute and a half. Playing a nice game. If it goes further than this though. The Whisper's still here. Oh, there's another one over there. Whisper's now here. Do I have to return with the bones if I've got them all? I don't know if that was all of them or not. And I think once... Oh, hang on. The Whisper's going back, I think. Alright, we got it. Nice.
That did it. The bones are back where they should be.
Now we can use that Wisp on this door right here. Exploration in all of the areas is pretty fun. A lot of the things that come across quite naturally for you to engage with. It is good. Doesn't feel like it wastes your time or anything like that. It's actually quite enjoyable. You get some good lore, or it's a quick little activity. The Jade Cleaver, gold detailing, and the occasional spatter of blood only bring out the luster of this massive green blade. Ugh. And the Researcher's Robe upgrade for Emmrich. Yes. And Memento Mori. Okay. A picture filled with dense symbolism of the necromantic arts. These allegorical illustrations are popular gifts for children about to come of age. And the public warning. A wanted poster of the notorious Half-Made Bandit, a thief who escaped Mornwatch anatomy class post-mortem. He remains a persistent scourge in the Vara City. Oh, that is fun. I like that a lot. Okay. The curse of the new item notification kills me. Back on the road.
Careful ahead.
Really don't burn the dead?
Navarra is dedicated to preserving the deceased. I suppose the Necropolis may seem exotic to everyone but Brooke.
I mean, depends what you're used to. Have you been to Arlathan lately?
Fantastic, Brooke!
Bounced.
They're firing at us!
Ready to go.
Appreciate it, Emmrich.
They're attacking from afar!
That's the last of them.
Vibrant quill. and tightly rolled scroll to effect a proper cleansing of the vaults of the beloved. Should malign spirits find their way into the vaults, they will be drawn again and again. After you drive them out, you must light candles to keep them from returning.
These are instructions. Lighting candles will drive away malign spirits from the vaults.
An ancient practice. Let us see if it avails us.
Let's look for those candles we have that will cleanse this place.
Okay. And then we'll be able to get that chest, I guess. The vibrant hues of this quill seem completely alien so deep inside the Grand Necropolis. It must have belonged to someone here who yearned for brighter days in brighter places.
Last candle. The vaults should be quiet now.
The air grows lighter already.
We got funeral finery. Keen gold lines over the green color of plants so dark they return to the soil. Emmrich at his most regal and refined, but no less deadly. I want to see what that looks like on you. Oh, that is good. He has just like the best looking clothes, I think, as well. Like, all of his stuff looks great. Emmrich is truly fashion souls. Time for the companion quest. Let's walk the graves together, my boy. As Emmrich performs rituals to honor the dead, the senior necromancer opens up about his past.
Thank you again for coming. It'll be good to perform the rites of remembrance with another watcher. Excellent. Manfred found his way down. Very good, Manfred.
He sounds excited.
I thought we'd start the rites here. A tableau of the dead, commissioned 173 years ago.
I remember this. A visiting Orlesian mage called it the most macabre thing he'd ever seen.
Orlesians. Fabulous artists, but no eye for the long run. These lives were flickers against the ages, precious, fragile, and finite. Now they serve as a warning. Don't linger overlong in the gloom. Live with grace and fervor while you may.
The gloom. The gloom watcher? Morn watcher? Connective tissue?
It's good to hear another watcher say that.
It's a common lesson.
I like that you're not so grim about it.
That one's livelier. Here. Who were you when you breathed above?
This body was a tailor's, a mother's. She laughed and taught and wove the robes kings wore when they were crowned.
Someone must realign her thoracic vertebrae. I hope the novices are inspecting the displays.
Being a watcher of the Grand Necropolis should come with standards.
I remember it being better kept in my day. Doubtlessly just the comforting murk of time.
You'd ask someone down here if it's true.
There's a thought.
God, they really just knocked it out of the park.
Time to light the candles.
Emmrich and Manfred.
If you would.
Been a while since I paid homage to our dead.
When he just gets there and just sits down and crosses his legs. I feel like it's got to be some of the most unexpected characters, right? I mean, Manfred, as soon as you see him, you're like, okay, he's going to be the most perfect thing ever. I'm just going to follow him everywhere. But Emmrich, also just fascinating character, so fun, and I've been waiting for Navarra Necropolis stuff ever since we started reading about it, and it's so cool to finally get it and to be a Morn Watcher. It really is so fun. I'm enjoying all of the characters in their own ways in terms of our little companion group, but in terms of new blood to the team, I'd say like Emmrich is top dog. And it seems like that sentiment is shared. I wonder how they're feeling about that, where they're like, I thought that this would be the most popular character. Sorry, excuse me. I thought this would be the most popular character. I think Lucanus is popular with a lot of people as well, for clear reasons. People have been loving the crows for so long, ever since our sweet Zevran.
Visiting your fellow undead, Manfred?
Happy hiss. Okay, anyway. Let me follow who I'm supposed to be following. Let's go and light some candles.
Would you care to light the candle, Rook? Look at this. The last tomb of the Tannhausens. A very influential family in the Storm Age.
We broke the bones of dragons.
A posthumous motto. Their last heir met his match against a Highland Ravager.
Death by dragon. Surprised there was enough to bury.
It's interesting because obviously the companion quests are tied to...
I never expected that the door we found back in the Vault of the Beloved would lead here.
It's unexpected because you'll have these companion quests and you'll have a lot of commentary moments that pop up and you're like, oh man, you could tell how some of the other companions would react if they could also come along on this one. They like, Taash would love to have a little interjection about that, I'm sure.
Ah, right. They used to be higher. Did the Necropolis shuffle around its rooms again?
It did. We'll have some work ahead, leading people here on the days of public mourning. Could you light the next candle?
Days of public mourning. It is also really wild that the Necropolis shifts around. Makes it very magical and mysterious. You're like, where is that place? Now I have to go and find it. That must make work quite daunting and exhausting.
Aha! One of my favorite flowers! A variegated weeping widower.
You know your plants?
Alchemy is my hobby. It's a break from teaching spirit calling and theoretical applied metaphysics.
That's some advanced necromancy.
Well, feel free to browse my books in the Lighthouse. I just found a wonderful work on chronological transection in the Fade. This way, Rook.
That bell did its job. And a trace of despair demons. I mean, spirits.
It's all right. You've been away from the Watchers a while.
Thanks. Everyone outside the Necropolis uses demons instead of spirits all the time.
I shan't judge any slips.
All demons are spirits, after all.
Visiting your fellow undead, Manfred?
Just the same question.
You'll need to light these candles as well.
Open your hearts to the final day, companion of all the ages.
You still have the old ritual memorized?
Like I said, a Watcher should have some standards.
The spirits gather. Only a few more candles. Follow me.
Wisp.
Look here.
Greetings to the dead and undying.
I think it might be welcoming you home. We're also enjoying the gardens, but with one last ritual ahead. On your way, my friend.
Spirits really are your specialty.
I've always had a rapport with them. Even as a child, they were my companions.
After you started training here?
After I was orphaned.
Oh.
A collapsed building, swift deaths. After the funeral, the Watchers took me in.
Very interesting. I was also orphaned and found by the Watchers. There you go. We have a shared history. I find it interesting that when the Wisps first appeared in the Lighthouse with Nev, we're just like, oh, yeah, they seem to like you. I wonder if our Morn Watcher stuff would have us be able to interact with them or figure out what's going on there. Because the more we learn about wisps, the curious those wisps in the lighthouse become.
They're not so different. Watchers discovered me down here as a foundling.
I'd heard a Watcher was found as an infant in the Necropolis.
Well, I ran around Navarra streets before I went back to the Watchers. You settled in better?
I needed time. When I first arrived, I was terrified.
And you still joined the Watchers?
They're what saved me.
Interesting. So, like, we were discovered as a baby in the Necropolis. We kind of grew up and lived our own life in Navarra for a little while and then came back into the Watchers. So it's a nice little detail of our origin there.
Come, the next set of graves lies ahead.
Where are we going?
Please, light the next candles if you would. There's much to recommend about the rhythm of a ceremony. It eases our worst hours. As a boy, the Watcher's rituals were exactly what I needed to steady my days with purpose.
If our Necropolis teaches us anything, it's to face life and death.
I was grateful for it, Rook. Immensely. All this pageantry, this magnificent gloom and its rites, I ask you, Rook, what is it for?
Let no Watcher forget that our greatest treasury is our dead.
Yes, exactly. This place is an abundance of history, of magic, of memories. The Watchers preserve it so the living may draw comfort from those who've gone before. We must get to the candle, please, Manfred.
I've resurrected simple undead before, but I've never seen a wisp animate a corpse so smoothly.
He's taken remarkably well to having a body, haven't you, Manfred? Here are the last candles you'll need to light. Once you're ready, we'll need to ring the bell.
Spirit Scry, okay.
Let the rites be acknowledged. Our bonds seen and sealed.
We honor the listening spirits.
Ooh. Wow. Now, we'd see these, and outside of the Necropolis, would refer to these as despair demons, based on how they appear to us, their visuals. Look at the brain with the eyeballs there, just like the nervous system. It is very interesting to see that.
Hail from the abyss.
We witness, good Watchers, faith kept in all our pacts.
It's been a while since I saw greater spirits of the Necropolis.
Those two in particular are amongst our oldest friends. We'll need to ring the bell once more to close out the departing ceremony.
Keepsake and Curio. Okay. I don't know if they're actually what people would on the outside would refer to as despair demons, but they share the same visual appearance. This grave is so good.
So you were really afraid of this place as a child?
It wasn't the Necropolis itself, but what was draped around it. Have you ever been frightened by the thought of dying, Rook?
Oh man, it's such an interesting way to answer this question as a Morn Watcher, right? I think even being a Morn Watcher and with the whole necromancy thing, I think you can still be scared of losing the life that you currently live.
Watcher or not, I don't dwell on it.
It wasn't a choice for me when I was younger. That's when I discovered I possess a great terror of dying.
Wow.
It goes beyond dread. Can't be reasoned with or soothed over. It comes without warning. In the dead of night, the sunlit streets, a raw, strangling fear struck somewhere deep past the heart.
That's an issue for a necromancer.
Oddly, I discovered I wasn't alone. I debated this fear with friends. I argued with teachers. Yet, it lingered. Manfred's right. That's maudlin enough. There are struggles, but a watcher should always find peace amongst the graves. And what sort of homecoming would this be for you if we didn't end with some light refreshment?
This is so nice, and I think it's such a great character thing for Emmrich to be a necromancer and be this fate expert and everything, but also be so afraid of death as well. It makes it so compelling and so interesting.
Well, if Manfred's excited, how can I refuse? Cheers, Manfred.
That's really nice. While performing rites in the Necropolis, Emmrich confessed that he's always been haunted by a fear of his own mortality. The rites brought him peace, however, and left him with an ever greater resolve to face the perils of the world above. We got a metal-plated focus, a necromantic focus given to members of the Morn Watch upon entry into the Order. There you go. And we've leveled up, and we can go and do our own codex reading now. We'll probably have some Emmrich-related codex entries. The Morn Watch, Extra 2. The Visitation, a folktale. Here's a copy of that Navaran folktale you're interested in, Balara. I heard this time around the fire a few times as a child. Many ages ago, there was a spirit that longed to see the world where people dwelled. Others of its kind warned that it would find no welcome. See, the determined spirit set out to see what it could see. It first visited a kingdom in the south where it found people grieving by a pyre. They cried out, "We know you, thief of life, of bodies of peace." They hid themselves, and receiving no welcome, the spirit left. Next, it visited a kingdom in the north where it found people grieving by a flaming bier. They cried out, "We know you, destroyer of fortune, of fame, of livestock and servants," and they cast it out with magic, and the spirit left. Then it visited a kingdom of the Middle Lands and found people grieving by a grave. When they saw the spirit, they cried out, "We know you, bringer of knowledge, help me to our dead." And they held it a banquet and had it stay the night. The spirit returned to its brethren and told them of its warm welcome in the Middle Kingdom. So more visited, and the Middle Kingdom honored the spirits by inviting them into their dead. With the spirit's help, the kingdom prospered. This is how it was told in the old days, and we remember it still. This is very interesting when you have the perception of spirits by different communities and societies. From Myrna on Rediscovering the Gardens. Dear Professor Volkaren, thank you for your missive. Your discovery of the new locations of the Memorial Gardens is most fortunate. We feared the next public days of mourning would have to be held adjacent to the charnel pyramids, which remain disagreeably cursed. I've recommended they undergo illustration before next equinox. I regret to inform you that a portion of the basalt hypogeum has vanished. Its disappearance was more violent than the typical reshuffling of the necropolis. We will send word if it returns. Cordially yours, Watcher Myrna, Keeper of the Seals. I need to keep some sort of tracking stone and put it in each of the rooms. They can be like, okay, I think it's in this direction. That would help a lot. We will now return to the lighthouse, then Crossroads banter, then Taash's companion quest. Let's do that now. Gavin and Lucanus out here.
Lucanus, if you lose control of Spine, I'll have to put you both down. No hard feelings.
Good. But you should know, all the people who ever tried to kill me are dead.
Taash will have my back. You can't handle both of us.
I once killed half a dozen Venatori while stuck inside an elevator. I'll take my chances.
Yes, the elevator. We got Captain America Lucanus over here. I love that Davron's like, Taash will help me. That's so ridiculous. Okay. Wonderful. Rook and Taash. And we've got a timed conversation and a quest. Also, Lucanus probably disapproves of that, Davron. I just said we'll keep an eye on you because you're an abomination, and I got disapproval.
Good to see you.
Alright, good to see you too. Right, doing pull-ups. Should we, are we gonna get a Mass Effect 3 shore leave moment where I have to do 100 pull-ups? And then Iron Bull will show up?
Rook, when's the last time you slept?
Never, but look, I can do this now. Sometimes I hit it real good and it's... Whoa! Did you like that? See you later. Alright, the timed conversation with Emmrich can wait, because that will reset the room.
How do you know literally everyone? I don't know literally everyone. Almost. Every time we meet someone, you already know them. Morgan, the Crows, the Wardens, and the Chantry lady with the big hat. Not to mention the Dreadwolf himself.
How is that everyone? You didn't even list 10 people.
It feels like a lot of people.
The Chantry lady with the big hat. It's convenient that, you know, it works out that way that the Divine ends up obviously being one of 3 women, of course. But come on. They're lucky. They're lucky.
Abundance.
Alright, Nev has a quest. Oh, Asan is here. Okay.
You seem at home here. Or is it a front? You know something I don't? So much for a straight answer.
Nev, you don't strike me as an animal person. Besides cats, maybe.
Oh, I'm not. Back home, you find a creature bigger than a cat, and it's probably half demonic. Damned if a third of the cats aren't either.
That's nothing like you, is it, Assad? You might be fluff all the way through. It was a compliment.
Of all the nonsense we've run into, you're what's strange.
Assad? Really?
There's been a god or two I didn't expect. But bad mages trying to make the world worse, that's not new. I had an uncle who went on about wardens and griffins. Loved the feathered things. They were always the heroes. If we're getting bedtime stories turned real, having griffins in the world again, it's not the one I'd have bet on.
Were you close with your uncle?
I didn't see him much, but yeah, we were. There aren't a lot of mages in my family, and in a city like Menrathis, it always matters. I learned quick who wanted to use me to step up the social ladder. My uncle wasn't one of them. He'd have talked your ear right off, Hassan.
We'll make an animal person of you yet, Nev.
You know you're sweet with him.
Aren't I always?
I walked into that.
Sing your praises and you still want something? I'll find you a treat if you don't tell Davrin. Have we got a deal?
Ooh, another option. Put it in double.
Hey, son. Between you and me, I think I like her. A lot. Yeah.
Listen up. If Davrin finds crumbs, Rook takes the fall.
Falling. On it.
I love when Asana's the one ear up, little floppy ear. Such a dog behavior when the dog goes up and he's got the flappies. Incredible. All right. That was an important conversation to be had.
With all my regards. Oh, but I don't want them to think me homesick.
Hi, Emmrich.
Rook, hello. Just composing a few letters. The other Watchers have been most interested in our adventures.
You have more credibility than I do back home.
Perhaps. Speaking of home, have we really never met around the Necropolis before? Even in passing?
Oh. You'd remember a Canary, and we can say, wait, that exhibition. So it's either no clue, maybe we met, no, I'd remember. I kind of want to have a moment of, wait a minute, perhaps we have met, as much as I'd love to be like, you'd remember a Canary.
I mean, I'm not a mage, so we probably never... Wait a second. Didn't you present astrological scrolls from the tomb of Mother Griselda 2 years ago?
Why, yes, indeed. It took forever to convince the departed Chantry Mother to lend them out.
So I guess I was there. I was in attendance.
I should fulfill my Watcher oaths and ask, any supernatural trouble in Navarra?
A gathering of pride spirits down in Cumberland, easily dispelled. And we finally stopped those wandering cenotaphs from appearing in the Weeping Vale. That took some effort. Nothing else, aside from the elven gods disrupting the Fade.
And yet...
There's so much more than spirits in the Fade. Entities and instrumentalities we know only by their shadows.
If you've spotted something in the Fade...
I'm not sure. It's only an occasional stillness where movement and light should be. Let's hope I'm imagining things.
I miss anything big around the Necropolis while I was gone?
Caspar I led a stately procession around the wards of his tomb palace.
That hasn't happened in 300 years.
No one knows what occasioned it. Oh, and necromancers outside the Morn Watch attempted to claim the funerary dead. Again!
It's right in the Royal Charter. Only Mortalitasi ascended to the Morn Watch have final authority in the Necropolis.
I've had to explain the distinction between Mortalitasi and Watchers a dozen times since leaving home.
But it's simple. Every Navarra necromancer is called a Mortalitasi, and some Mortalitasi join the Morn Watch. Done.
Exactly. One would think.
One would think.
I couldn't help overhearing the word homesick.
Oh, I'm fine. Completely absorbed in our venture. But if I were home, I'd be preparing for new students or requests to speak to the dead.
You didn't stop teaching just to be with us, did you?
I'm long overdue for a sabbatical. Besides, do you know how many students the faculty wanted in my class next season? 10! How's one meant to tailor separate lessons for 10 pupils at a time? Honestly.
Can people just ask you to show up for some corpse whispering?
Oh, nothing official. There are very few of us, but we help here and there. Questioning a victim of murder, clearing up disputed wills, and sometimes fetching back last words from a loved one.
Oh, there are some really practical elements of the necromancy there that is very interesting. I love that.
Have you used corpse whispering on King Marcus?
Whatever are you talking about?
Come on.
His Majesty's health is a delicate subject. Besides, the palace necromancers aren't watchers. They've their own corpse whisperer.
So King Marcus is dead? Or undead?
Half the nobility must suspect by now. Can you imagine what the other kingdoms would think? I stay well clear of it.
Oh, that's great. The Navaran king being a raised undead. Oh, that's fucking great. It just makes sense. It's great. I love the elements of like reading about Navarra, getting the Mortalitasi stuff, and then when you actually get into the region where Navarra is, we get to go there, you learn way more about it. And it's very realistic in the sense that people have a lot of assumptions about other countries in this world. Like, there's a lot of the Australian stereotypes and American stereotypes and English stereotypes and all that kind of stuff. But then you go there and like, no, that's just like weird stuff that people talk about. Or then like people will just have fun with it. Like, people will go to Australia and they say, watch out for the drop bears, and they'll get you. And it is very interesting to see like those differences when you hear about a place and actually go to a place can really change your perspective on how things are. And that works in both the good things you hear and the bad things you hear as well. But this is really nice. It is very interesting how we had a Navaran accent with Cassandra, right? And it was quite the accent. But we haven't really had that replicated actually coming here. But I think you can also have people from different walks of life that have come to Navarra and different accents, of course. So not everyone's going to sound like Cassandra, I suppose.
Good to chat. I'll let you get back to your letter.
Before you go, I wanted to thank you for your company in the Memorial Gardens. There's another ceremony I have to perform there. If you'd like to visit again. Not yet, but soon.
I'd like that. I've seen a lot of interesting places outside the Necropolis, but...
I do miss the vastness of the tombs.
Exactly. And all the friendly dead.
A visit home will do us both good. I'll let you know when it's time.
Nice. I like the relationship that Rook and Emmrich have together on like this camaraderie, friendly working relationship level of having a Morn Watcher background and also being companions. It works very well. There's a temptation for the romance, specifically by how much I enjoy the character, but I think I might save that for a different type of character. I don't know. We'll see. But it does have, there is an appeal. I'm like, I thought about it. I'm leaning towards Nev. I'm leaning towards Nev. I like the detective energy. But Emmrich would be very fun also. And then their adopted son, Manfred. The Great Passage. How strange to wake up and realize I've no lessons to plan. My last batch of pupils was well set, or so I pray, when classes ended. Edwina and Lorimer sent letters. How flattering to be remembered by one's former students. Ensconced in the Lighthouse, I can't help but think of the first question so many of them ask. If it's true that for every person who dies, a spirit must enter the mortal world in return. It often surprises them to learn this idea is purely Navaran. Summoning a benign spirit to answer this question is one of my favorite practical demonstrations, and such a treat for the novices. The line of inquiry, students swiftly learn, is impossible. The majority of spirits have difficulty grasping the very concept of quantities, let alone numbers. No one, mortal or otherwise, appears to know how to tally both the people in the world and spirits in the Fade. Yet I cannot dismiss the idea that there might be some unknowable exchange of Fade-born spirit and human soul. This folklore is entwined with the very founding in of Navarra, and if I have learned anything here, it is that the Fade is stranger than even we of the Necropolis have imagined. And when you think about spirits as well, we get the lore revelation that elves were spirits. And that was a new bomb. That was new information that elves were spirits and went to pursue physical form. And that brings up even a lot more because Inquisition and having Solas as a companion taught us a lot as well. How spirits become demons when denied their purpose. And that's a very particular line when Solas was dealing with his friend, Spirit of Wisdom, that was then transformed into a demon of pride. And we went through that quest line. And that raises interesting questions, and it complicates things. It really hits differently when you get the information of elves used to be just spirits. That was how things were. And the fact that Solas means pride, and the Dreadwolf imagery and the pride demon visual element is the same with like the multiple eyes, sits with me as well when I think about that. We mentioned that when that information came up during the Regrets of the Dreadwolf cutscenes as well. It's just gonna be interesting to see us follow that train of thought into the next regrets that we can obtain from the Crossroads. And we've got Emmrich's diary, Forbidden Books. I've been asked to weigh in again on texts being considered for our list of tomes and scrolls forbidden. I didn't think it was that time of year already. Well, let us see what lies in the list. The Setting of the Light by Lumiere Bartlett. One new page reportedly discovered. Goodness knows how many artists have rediscovered lost pages of Bartlett's play. Still, if it has any connection with The Last King, best we move carefully. I'll recommend we lock away the page until we can determine its provenance. The Magic of Crimson Serpents, Anonymous. A poisonously simple guide to blood magic. Da Vinci's favourite forbidden practice. Poor Nev, what she must combat weekly. Let the book remain open to senior watchers, but only for purposes of teaching detection and defense against blood magic. Oh, interesting. I've omitted the full title, of course. Nethus Anonymous, inscribed on stone tablets. I'd give much to track down the malign spirit whispering these dictations. Is it like Nethersphere or something, potentially? Netherstone. This would be the 5th copy we've found, banned lest it spread, and I'm afraid we must consider whether destroying the tablets might lure out their true author. The Randy Dowager, Collected Book Reviews 938 to 942, gold embossed edition for the true collector. Now this is ridiculous. The Mourn Watch works with the dead. We have no business forbidding the harmless vices of the living, and I question whoever brought it up for consideration in the first place. Good. The Shadow Dragons. Nev's case notes. Missing Xena. A pair of letters found among Nev's case notes. The first is written on a scrap with the letters bent to fit. Dear Nev Galos. Spelt wrong? I have a job for you. Meet me by the starring statue. I'll be there every day this week. From Liv. The second letter is written on a larger piece of paper and has a number of illustrations. Dear Nev Galos. I wanted to let you know I did what you said and gave Xena extra ear scratches. She wagged her tail a lot. She says thanks for finding her. From Liv. Below are the drawings of a girl, a dog, the moon, a rain cloud, 3 boats, a spiral that might represent magic, and a very tall person who might be Nev. Interesting. There you go. Well, there's that's pretty cute. Okay. Now that we've done that, companions spoken to, we can now do Taash's companion quest. Dragon class. So we'll put Taash in the party, and And who do I want Taash to speak with? Let's do Nev. We'll do Taash and Nev as we go through the crossroads into Ravine. Because then we can also do some of the other region quests that have cropped up in that area as well.
Back in the crossroads. Still feels like one false step could send you anywhere.
We listen again? No listening at this time. But we do get to go through the middle section now. And we've read that already. Also, very late to even addressing this name thing, but learning that Asan's name means arrow, and Felasan is obviously Elven still, with arrow in the name. But I'm not sure what the Fel part of the Asan refers to. Something arrow. Solas using someone with the name Felasan as his own personal arrow. Nice. Okay, I think we're able to have another entryway.
Like the one that took us to that Solas memory.
Gotcha. All right, time for another memory.
There. It's happening again. We're in another of Solas's memories. Remember last time? Past really can still hurt you.
Glad you made it here safely. I didn't love our odds without you.
Who, me?
All right. Everything's in place. We hit Algernon's island fortress tonight. This is our best chance to free the people he's enslaved. Get in, save as many as you can, and bring them back here to Sanctuary. Be fast and be safe. I'll meet you on the other side. Ven-Harel scouting ahead. For freedom! For the Dread Wolf!
Okay. It's interesting to see the elves with Valasleen still, and without it.
So, the Dread Wolf is testing his noble rebels against my stronghold. How courageous.
Remember, these memories can hurt us.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
Solas's memories. Elganon sent his guards to attack the Dreadwolf's rebels.
So Elganon was always...
You persist for naught. The people under my rule are not yours to plunder.
More guards.
It's interesting that sometimes the game will like interrupt the dialogue like that as you go into a fight. It's like expecting you to just stand still. Hopefully the dialogue continues after.
Glad to see we all made it.
Nope.
Elganon's forces are making things interesting.
You, keep moving no matter what. Free those slaves. We'll take everyone else and give the guards something to think about.
We must be swift. Elganon is coming.
Solas sounded frightened.
You blame him?
Well, we'll have to find out, won't we?
Let's get that prison open.
I need me a wisp. Wisp acquired. Okay, freeing the prisoners. Gotcha. Use of wisps in the memory is interesting.
Nearby. We'll head there right away.
Go! The Dreadwolf must be waiting for you.
Quickly! Elganon approaches. Stop his guards. We need to buy time for the captives to get to safety. I will hold off Elganon himself for as long as I am able.
The vermin keep coming. Go. I will deal with that ragged wolf.
That ragged wolf. Love it.
Got him ready for you.
For this Solas, no matter how far you run.
Let the big asshole rant. Everyone we freed is safe in the crossroads.
Without all of you, well, thank you. But can Elganon find us here?
He cannot. I have made sure of...
Solas?
Elganon is a powerful opponent. My apologies. It is of no consequence. What matters, my friends, is that today, all of us are free.
Indeed. So true, guy. How long does it want to blind me for?
I think that's it. The memory ends here.
So Solas really did have a heroic side. At one point.
Too bad he didn't stay all heroic like that.
Now all that's left is this fragment. Come on, let's go.
The regret of a god. And we have another cutscene that we can watch back at the lighthouse. It's taking us up here. The Veil's bow. Electric damage is pretty good. Fire bonuses also affects this weapon's base damage. Why not? And then we can search for another one, but I think we have to go through here, and we haven't opened that yet. So that one will be kept from us for a while yet, I believe. Okay, we are in the Hall of Valor. So let's meet Taash at the hilt. Now, I believe this area in general is one unexplored. We haven't been to the Hall of Valor, because that's another one. We speak with Isabella here. So we'll do Tash's quest and that, which is very exciting. Code of the Hall. Matches are only against spirits or people fighting of their own free will. No innocent animals, no prisoners. Every fight is a lesson. Fight well and be better for it. No death matches. Everyone gets the chance to lose and learn. Never bet against Isabella. Keep the fight in the pit. Special rules for trick fights are binding. If you lose a fight, wipe off the dirt and try again. And again, never bet against Isabella. That's my wife from another world over there. Do not bet against my other wife. The wives of the Apocalypse Dragon Age universe are not to be trifled with. Egghead included. Hello, just jumping in front of you.
Nothing but top shelf stuff over here.
What have I got to sell to you? Treasure. Treasure things. Take that. A few things. And we can rank up with you. So let's do that. Your damage gains 100% penetration for 10 seconds. Alright. Pierce rune. Better healing on a sash. A trinket? Priceless ancient trinkets. A glittering collection of ancient coins, jewels, and curios any treasure hunter would love. A gift. Seemingly ordinary pot of Ravani origins. Food cooked in it always seems to taste like the most happily filling childhood meal. And appearances. We can have the Lords of Fortune casual wear. Why not?
For gold and glory!
So, you're a mage, right?
I am a seer, yes.
Does that mean you're not a mage?
It means that my magic is primarily focused on communing with spirits, or acting as a conduit for them to speak through.
Wait, you let yourself get possessed? On purpose?
Ah, I forgot you were from Ferelden.
I forgot you were from Ferelden. The pointy hat gives it away, of course. The fashion in this place is crazy. Is that a spirit?
Oh, what foul-hearted spirit tugs at the corners of your lips to turn them down so?
What? Oh, I'm fine. I'm just thinking about what I could do better in my next match.
Oh, you fought valiantly last time.
I lost to a bunch of deep stalkers, Pluck.
Taash talks. Dragon. Cut her under. Appearance, blue and purple back, orange underbelly. Similar to Gamorden's Stormrider coloration, but bigger than any Gamorden I've heard of. Diet. Big water prey. She hunts most often during storms. Her lightning can tear a ship in half or kill a school of fish. Better senses in water than on land. Like the Vinsummer that way. Different from Vinsummer in that she will go after ships and even fleets. Behavior. Kataranda is a legend. She's devastated both Ravani and Kunari ships, a big reason sailors hide when the weather gets stormy. The Ravani Armada calls her Kataranda the Storm Rider, but that's stupid. Kataranda is Kunlat for Deathstorm. You can't call a dragon Deathstorm the Storm Rider. Wait, that actually looks great now that I've written it out. Like, maybe you can have Storm twice in the name. Secret bookshelf. That leads to this. Look at that. Just steal that from me if you don't mind. And what did we pick up? Isabella's Guide to Dungeoneering. Better to have 50 feet of rope you don't need than need 50 feet of rope you don't have. Nobody leaves a perfectly good glowing gemstone at the far end of a hallway unless they're trying to distract you from spikes about to shoot from the wall. Bring extra lockpicks, bring extra knives. Don't take anything from a room with glowing letters in a language you can't read. And if a spirit appears between you and the treasure, talk first, run second, fight last. Always look for spiderwebs. Spiderwebs mean no swinging blades in the room. Don't wear armor you can't swim in. Betray a partner and you're wealthy once, but cursed forever. And anything on a pedestal is either a trophy being displayed, a danger being guarded, or both. Don't grab it until you know which. Taash shows off her dragon knowledge.
I saw the Hivernal flying by with my own eyes, big as the sky, and ready for the lords to come be heroes. We take it down, and the village nearby will eat like kings and love us for it. It had bright red and blue scales. They'll be worth a fortune, even beyond the Horde.
That's not a Hivernal. You saw a Kaltanzan. And she's acting normal. She's not one of the dragons blighted by the gods. Going after her would get us killed for no good reason.
Lords of Fortune fashion sense is so interesting. Some of it looks okay, a lot of it doesn't. But it's also just basically everyone walking around being like, we're sexy pirates. Like, Isabella? Yeah, I think, like, Isabella's in, what, her 40s? Almost 50s now? Maybe even more than that? Maybe? Like, how old is Isabella during Dragon Age 2? Isabella's got to be, like, in her 40s at least. She's keeping in good shape. I'll tell you that much. You do not age fast on the seas, it seems. That nice open sea air keeps you looking youthful. She looks as old as she did in Dragon Age 2. Pretty much. I hope we can get some conversation with Isabella instead of potentially just only background character. Because I think when we do the Hall of Valor, we got to talk to Isabella, so maybe that'll be nice.
I'm gonna have to side with the Lords of Fortune's resident dragon expert.
You sure you're not just scared, Taash?
Fight it if you want. Tell us where to send your stuff after it kills you.
Oh, sorry, Cutter. Taash gets final say. We leave the Kaltanzan alone.
You think I can't fight a dragon just because I don't breathe fire?
You can't fight a dragon because you don't know what you're doing.
Fine. You're the expert.
Not oof again. Not another oof. That's the second oof, sir. A second oof has hit the dialogue wheel.
One less thing to worry about. If the Kaltanzan isn't an option, what else have you got?
There's rumors of another dragon off to the west. Heard anything, Taash?
Yeah. Not sure if it's blighted like the ones that attacked Minrathous and Treviso. But it's killing people in villages near Arlathan Forest. They need help.
Well, that's glory.
It's a fire breather. They always have lairs with a horde.
And there's gold. Tempted yet?
We might be able to spare the time for a dragon hunt.
Can't wait to see what you find. Now, has Taash told you about fighting a Gamadon Stormrider in the middle of a typhoon?
Best time to catch him.
Oh, it was glorious, Rook.
Isabella with the peacock feathers on the back, though? That is I really like that detail of the outfit. That's awesome. Just so short and sweet, you know? It's definitely more like, not practical. You wouldn't see Isabella out in the field being scantily clad with only armor on like shoulders or something like that. But definitely classic Isabella. I think the favorite part of the outfit would be the peacock feathers, for sure. I think that's very fun.
I've been thinking about my strategy.
Now we get a look at this quest. Let's Let's see what's going on up here.
Welcome to the Hall of Valor. I knew you'd find your way here sooner or later. Your kind always do.
What do you mean, your kind? Isabella and the Lords. Taash, the Lords of Fortune aren't much for formal history. Many of our adventurers might land us in trouble if we actually wrote down what we did, but I've been with the Lords since before we were the Lords. Back then, it was just a bunch of sea raiders, and like all raiders, we wanted gold, we wanted glory, and we were ready to backstab each other to get all of it. But then some of us learned that gold and glory is not worth much unless you've got friends to revel in it with you. And that's how the Lords, as you know it, started. We share news about what's out there, we chase it together, everyone gets a cut, and then everyone gets drunk. We don't care who you used to be, as long as you pull your weight. I suppose that's a big part of why your mother showed up here with a baby in her arms looking for work. Isabella. Someone made a drunk joke and the name stuck, which was in regards to the Lords, and then the pull your weight. You know, it's a bit like being a Grey Warden, except fun and with a beach. We had piracy turns from what it used to be, with Isabella being the backstabbing sort, to why don't we all just get along? I don't think we would have had the Lords of Fortune be this way if it was written back during the Dragon Age 2 times. Menu for the Hilt Bar and Grillin' Bar. Smash and grabs, bottomless breaded cheese ones with Orlesian sauce. Taste of Ferelden bread and cheese, make it a full cheese wheel. Deep Roads Crispers, Free Marches Mashup, Sea Monster Kebab, Bronto Steak with Carter Fries, Greens with Antivan Orlesian or House Dressing, with Chicken Beef or Full Dalish, Armada Special with Cheese, Greens, Meat and Pineapple, and Golden Glory, which is ale, wine, and 1 cent per broken flagon. Ask us to make it Navaran with no meat. Alright. Hall of Valor.
Looking to fight?
Let's fight.
Get yourself in order and head to the entrance.
Okay, that's not exactly the dialogue I was hoping for. It's basically,
chill in the air.
Talk to me.
Please give an ice-cold welcome to the darling of Docktown, the winter rose of winter, Veilguard!
Oh my god, all the companions get their own specific intros? Oh, that's fun. Oh, this gives like Fable the Lost Chapters vibe, where you go to the arena. I'm in a hole.
Who wants some?
Oh, okay. Never mind. Have Gallus getting an intro. What about our other characters? Oh, wait.
Rook, nice one. End it.
We're losing allies.
Coming at range.
We're dropping fast.
They're at range.
Let's end this.
Ready. They've got us at range.
Win 10 matches, apparently.
Spectacular! We felt the blood spray from way over here.
So basically, you can just go there and do fights. Skill points for Taash. Let's level some things up. More damage on Fire Breath. And then what other skills do you have? Spitfire, Dragonfire Strike, Fire Breath. Do that too. Lovely. Alright, well, considering that the Hall of Valor is just, we'll just earn glory, come here and do fights. It seems to be quite a basic little thing for us. There's not much in the Hall of Valor. It's just that one chest that we've already opened. So with that in mind, we will offer a gift to Taash. We'll head back to the Lighthouse, and then we'll also put in... Oops, I accidentally just killed someone with my shield through it. And then we'll have a look at this wolf statuette that we picked up also. So we'll go give a gift, and Taash will say, thanks. Grunts casually. You gonna grunt thankfully now?
Huh. Nice.
I just gave you precious gems and jewels, and that's all you've got to say. Well, I mean, it's better than nothing. Dragon Age Origins didn't even have acknowledgement. You just give it to them in the item menu, don't you? I think. You just give it, put them in their inventory and have them consume it, I think.
Too much sky. That's what it even is. Hi there, boy.
Who else is around here? We got Balara and Lucanus hanging out, and Emmrich and Harding hanging out.
Thanks again for dinner last night, Lucanus. That cream sauce.
A little mustard makes the difference. Though, my supplier in Treviso is...
Oh, so... Hey, what's the best thing you've ever eaten? Something fancy?
We ate a prisoner's nightmare. He dreamed a bloodthirsty tree with 10,000 branches. Aye, she was asking me, Spite.
God, Spite's voice is so bad. So bad. I think it's just like the effect that they put on the voice. I'm like, it's just not working for me at all. And then Lucanus is gonna be like, every dialogue option I have, every time I speak, I'm gonna remind you that Treviso is blighted. The Treviso mustard that I got, but of course, Trevito's blighted now. And then looks directly at Rook. That dinner last night would have been amazing. Shame I wasn't invited to it.
Don't have anything for you. Or did you just miss me?
Nev's other prosthetic leg on the ground there. Let's have a look and see what Harding and Emmrich are talking about.
Pleased to be working with you, Scout Harding.
Just call me Harding. Should I call you Professor Volkarin?
Oh no, Emmrich will do. This doesn't seem a group to insist on formality.
I'm surprised some of us still wear pants.
Well, they're getting to know each other. And then we say, Varric, how you doing? And then Varric says, get some sleep, Rook. I'm thinking up my next book.
Does it feel like this place is Solas's revenge? We spoiled his ritual and now we have to house sit for him.
Rook, I'm thinking about my next book. Wanna be in it? Rook's book. I'm thinking of a better title, but that's all I got for now. Let's view and you regret, shall we? Now what's this one? Oh, it's the Lyrium Dagger. And I see Mythal and Solas.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Yeah, big old Mythal doing the Titan stuff, which we learned about in
Solas
Trespasser.
made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. He passed me in the halls of Skyhold for a year. He made polite conversation, and he knew. He knew what he did.
That's so messed up, though, that element of it. So we saw the mural of Mythal with the Titans in Trespasser. So we knew that there was an element to that happening, right? Defeating the Titans and rendering the dwarves unable to dream, cut off from lyrium, or like cut off from, you know, the Fade, that sort of element of it taken away. But this lyrium dagger being such an important MacGuffin. The slow dramatic zoom into Rook as he thinks about what to say. But yeah, the way that Solas interacted with people, knowing who he was and his history and all of that, it hits so much harder once that veil is lifted on his character. And I think that speaks a lot to who Solas is as a character, because part of his history, part of his mythology is that he is that trickster god. He played both sides and tricked them both and trapped them, you know, like the Forgotten Ones, the Forbidden Ones, all of this sort of nature of like the separate elements of gods both being trapped in different areas. He said, why don't you go over there and you go over there, and I'm just going to put you in a box and then see ya. And either side was completely, you know, they didn't know until it was too late.
That's what Solas does, isn't it? He sees a problem, and he thinks of a solution that has huge, horrible knock-on effects. And then he does it anyway. Because there's no way anyone else could come up with something better. And it's okay that he did incalculable damage to the world, because he's really sad, you see?
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solas.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solas regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda. You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal, mistreated and imprisoned for centuries, until all it knows is fear.
Yeah. And there's the thing as well. When we were going through the Descent and they're talking about the song and like what you can hear, and like there's the melody of the Darkspawn side of things. You've got the calling, then you've also got sort of like the other element with the Titans song, the song of the lyrium. And during Dragon Age Inquisition, we were theorizing about how they could be parts of one song, different pieces of the same song. And here we get our confirmation of that being just so. So this blighted element of rendering the lyrium from the Titans. What about Darkspawn?
What does this mean for Darkspawn? Should we be trying to help them?
I don't believe so. If the Blight is a corrupted dream, Darkspawn may be mindless manifestations of its anger.
Right. They're not people. We're never going to get through to them.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgernon and Gillanane to deal with now.
And then I want Solas to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this.
Yeah. What's the final regret? What's the worst one, right? A Memory of Tranquility is this one, which is so wild, because then when Tranquility comes up, and then you start going into Dragon Age Inquisition lore with Seekers and how they learned how to render someone tranquil. It's all just so fascinatingly connected. The final mural, I really, really want to get to that one as well. But it is fun to get these revelations and to sit on it and think of it, because I don't have every single element perfectly encapsulated in my head of all the lore, but I can remember the big moments where we were theory crafting and having this all come to us as it was, you know, happening, and as we were reading codex entries and being able to see what was happening or think about what was happening or what could happen, which is really fun. I still don't have everything perfect. There are gaps in my own memory, but there are gaps in everyone's memory. I think a lot of discussion and arguments have cropped up over Dragon Age Inquisition in this game, and people going, that's not right, they got this wrong, even though they didn't, because it's still consistent with what we know. I mean, we'll see how we go so far, but everything that I've been getting fed has been aligned with what we've known already or theorized about. And that's the thing, it's like BioWare has had the true lore of Thedas all this time, and they've been able to use that as a way to write the different perspectives. Like the humanity-made codex entries are based on their experiences and their perspective on history and what they've been told, which is just very real. It's, again, why the Codex of Dragon Age specifically is one of my favorite ways to handle it, because instead of the Codex entries being matter of fact and this is how things are, it's this is how things are from this group's perspective, this is their experience, and it makes it so much more impactful, and you're able to sort of pull back the curtain on some things, and actually it allows for a little bit of leeway to introduce elements like this lyrium dagger being the key to these events that we've read about previously. So it doesn't feel out of place at all. Very, very fun. Oh, it can change the full decor of this place. Oh, wow. I can make it quite Navaran. Isn't that fun? Whoa! We're like, let's make it look a little bit more like home. Damn, that's sick. I like what it ends up changing. God, even on the outside it changes. That's really sick. Now something that was unfortunate. Oh no, hang on. No, we're fine. Nev was on her own. Emmrich and Balara are in here. Davrin and Lucanus are in here.
I swear I see wisps in my dreams now.
Davrin, if there's any advice you can send to Treviso about handling the Blight.
I'll pass it on, though some details are only for wardens.
Are you serious? You're clinging to your order's secrets now?
It's not about secrecy, Lucanus. When you're resistant to the Blight like we are, wardens can take more risks. Or do you want untrained civilians spreading it further?
Right. I'm sorry.
I mean, I get how you feel, but let's make this better, not worse.
They're just hanging out in the Blight. Like normal. It's very interesting that when Rook gets mad and he actually speaks with a lot of anger in his voice, it's mostly directed towards Solas-related dialogue. Like, you'd be like, that Solas guy is a bastard. And that's the angriest we see Rook, I think.
I must say, of all our theories throughout the ages, no one thought ancient elves came from spirits was very likely.
Wait, the Mournwatch knew?
Not at all. It was only one proposition amongst thousands, and not well credited.
You could write a paper for the Watchers, or both of us could.
What a wonderful idea. Though we'll have some difficulty citing our sources.
Right. I guess Solas's memories are technically a diary?
Still, it's an effective source. That is pretty funny, though, how they think about that. They're like, we could do a paper, but it might be difficult to get accepted, that one. But spirits becoming the elves, you know, that being the origin was definitely not something that I'd thought about or theorized at all. It's fun to still get the new drops or the new elements of that are helping you connect further dots, but then getting the gratifying confirmation of some other things that link up. I think that's the real fun part about the lore reveals in this game so far.
Stop by for a workout?
Yeah, let's go. Grunts casually. Alright, I think we won't be able to uncover the next wolf statuette so soon. So I'll have to take this as an opportunity to do something else instead.
So, Taash, Lords of Fortune. You're treasure hunters, right?
Yep.
And that includes ruins? Elven ruins?
Yep.
I see. Okay. Sure.
Okay.
When two neurodivergent people have a conversation. Alright, we are going to the Arlathan Forest. That is where we're at today, because we have a champion to defeat. So off we go.
Balara, I need your help.
Elio, what's wrong?
Can you help? There are veil jumpers in the forest who have been gone too long. They were searching for relics. With the recent troubles, they could use a protective escort to bring those relics back to camp.
I'll start the search.
And I'll stay here, in case someone shows up.
Light of the Veil Jumpers.
Can't afford to lose any more veil jumpers.
We have our haunting in Arlathan Forest. We have a demon in Arlathan. We have veil jumpers at the camp, and we have defeating the champion. So we've got a few things that we're able to do in Arlathan Forest. And champion was what I came here to do. But we'll see if we can even get there.
There it is. That's the veil jumper camp.
We'll stop off at the Veil Jumper camp along the way to this champion quest.
Watch out.
Oh, okay. Jesus.
That relic just went off. What happened to that veil jumper? He was right here. Oh, this isn't good. We need to find him.
Okay. So he's going off in this direction. He's just getting teleported through Veil, apparently. Lost in time. I thought the rift had taken me to another part of the forest, but I was wrong. I'm lost, not in space, but in time. Following the river to find my way, I came across the Crooked Willow, several meters away from the bank. Did you know the river had moved? I'll make my way to Demeter's Crossing. Perhaps there is a settlement there and someone who can help. Marin. Scribbled below in another hand. The forest toys with us. I found this in a leather pouch buried beneath the willow 2 days after Marin went missing. The pouch was a gift. It was new. Now the strings are crumbling. This is his writing, but on aged deerskin. Mana Shiral Lethalin. Hope you found your way. Irulan. Wow. That's very interesting, the implications of that.
That's incredible.
How does that work? Water's gotta come from somewhere.
Not me. The Fade or I don't know, but it sure looks cool.
Never a dull day in Arlathan Forest.
Alright, well, I guess.
One of those magical relics the Veil Jumpers were dealing with must be nearby.
Let's see where we end up when we go through these.
A spatial anomaly. We can't reach that Veil Jumper unless we find some way around it.
Sure thing.
One relic down, more to go. Not to believe these things are causing so much trouble.
Trying to look at the one that says R1. Let me do the other one. There we go.
You saved me. I'm saved. I'm alive. I was working on the relic and then everything went dark and quiet. It felt like nothing and nowhere. I'll catch my breath and make my own way back to camp.
There are others missing. We'll continue searching for them.
Griffin dig.
Looks
Okay.
like another relic nearby.
Elio, hope you find this. I fear something may happen to me. There's been a presence following me for 2 days. I cannot shake it. Be careful and warn the others.
Damn. We were too late.
Rushed. Hazards persistent. Map of persistent veil breaks and physicality failures in central Arlathan Forest. To the uninitiated, the strangest thing about Veil Jumper maps is how few of them just say, run! Right on. And that now powers that. We can get back to that later.
Hello? Is anyone out there?
That's probably one of the missing Veil Jumpers. Let's get that barrier down. Must be a magical relic causing this.
Here comes trouble.
Oh.
Great job, Rook. Can anyone hear me?
We're gonna get you out.
I kept calling and calling and no one came. It felt like an eternity. And the shadows were so dark. So dark. But I'll be all right. I'll make my own way back to the camp.
Okay. And then the final survivor.
So, those artifacts you find, you sell them?
Some of them. The rest go to Shiv.
Who's Shiv?
Elven guy. He's from a Dalish clan that works with us.
A clan works with you?
Yeah. Shiv makes sure we don't sell anything sacred to your people.
Huh.
I bet one of those magical relics is close.
It's causing magic to go wild. We have to stop it.
Deactivate the relic and the barrier goes away. I think.
Sure, here we go.
That's another one.
Oh, thank the creators. Did Elio send you? I have to talk to him once I return to camp. It's so odd. I've seen relics like that before. I know how they work, but this one, it was wrong.
I think that's everyone. Let's get back to Elio.
Okay, we can inform Elio about that one. First, I'm going to discover this beacon so we can come back. And then we can see about a champion.
Look at that.
Now we can get that beautiful chest before we head on back.
Trouble coming.
Guardian of Secrets, okay. Not getting it without a fight, alright. Alright. Guardian of Secrets. Defeated. What is going on here? Look at this.
They interrupt, as predicted.
Ooh.
As expected. As hoped.
This was our formless one thing.
What was that? Learn. Adapt. Triumph.
Alright. That was... What was that? That was... I thought that would have been the demon. But that's located elsewhere in this area. How interesting. Okay. Field notes of New Days. Blood writing. When an enemy dies, it spawns an apparition that attacks nearby enemies, dealing necrotic damage. That's fun. Worn by Vashoth, who has spent time in Dalish camps in respect for Elven Valaslin. Cool. Alright, let's have a look at these codex entries we just dug up here. Mysterious circle. There's something wrong with these circles. Well, I call them circles, but we never found a complete one. Just enough pieces to tell us it was probably a circle once. Being near them makes my skin crawl. My keeper told me that they're just artifacts of the old days of Elvenar, but I know they aren't. He tells me that some of the elves, the forgotten ones, and those who followed them were evil, so some of what they made must be evil too. And that be the source of my discomfort. But there's difference between evil and wrong, and these things are wrong. I still need to find one that's intact. Maybe last Taeon to come with me. Nice. So the Evanurus and the Forgotten Ones. A page of a bestiary code. It claims that what we lost as penance, a crime we did not know, a pain it cannot shed, a hatred blind, a city black.
I found most of your friends, but one didn't make it. I'm sorry.
We all know the risks, but it's still difficult when someone gets hurt. There's one last relic out there we never found. If you come across it, be careful. I think someone's meddling with the magic in Arlathan.
I'll try to be safe.
Okay, the play of the Veil Jumper's done. Now, we take ourselves back up this way to take on a champion.
So, about Shiv. He examines ancient elven artifacts you find?
Yeah. Tells us what not to sell because it's cultural, or because it might blow up.
How does he know?
He's the... thing. What's the word? Like my mother, but for elf stuff.
He's the keeper for the Dalish clan? And the Lords of Fortune listen to him?
Yeah. He pays us a finder's fee on stuff that should stay with his people. He also gives us a heads up about which floor tiles will set off fire traps or something.
I love Balara's like genuine curiosity with what Taash gets up to. Comes in nice little tidbits, but it's very cute. Alright, there's a chest up there for us to get after defeating the champion. That looks like it's important. And the bridge is out. But that also looks like that might be somewhere to go. Unless that's just the map being... it's misleading me.
A pit. A darkspawn. Let's clear him out.
It's about to get fun.
They're behind you. How'd they like that? Nice one.
Taurus the Rekindled.
For sure. Ranged incoming. For sure. Ranged incoming. Get out of the way. Hitting us. Got it. Rub dirt on it.
Dude, fuck it, I keep getting stuck on the environment. Okay, well this is distracting. I literally... Get off of me.
Get clear.
Get off of me. Get off of me.
Get clear. Enemies at range.
I can't even fucking see what I'm doing. Jesus Christ.
That should take care of it.
Bad spot. Move. Coming at range. Righto.
I haven't even done any damage to this guy. like at a third. I have no healing because I'm an idiot and I forgot to put it on.
Great, Valora.
Thank you.
Finish it.
Finish it. It's at half health.
There we go. Get clear. Get out of there. Ranged incoming. Watch it. You bet. Ready. Range. Watch yourself. You bet. Should help.
Tell your gods we won't start.
A clutch victory.
You gotta move.
I have my champion essence now.
This'll open the way.
We can now unseal the path to faded glories. And we have the All Mother's Corpse.
Move.
Upgrade. Very good. Well, that was easy. Fucking hell. That was rough. Well, this is... Fenrirel statues around. Feed touched bullock. Nice amount of stagger. On perfect defense, nearby enemies are pulled towards you. This tower shield has a magnetism about it that can't help but attract a fight, especially if you wield it well. Be interesting to use that one. Now we can go back and use the Champion's Essence in the Crossroads. And that is what we're going to make our first activity next time. So thank you so very much for joining me for this episode of Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Enjoying the progress as usual. We'll head back to the Crossroads, put the Champion's Essence in, see what we're rewarded with, and then maybe we'll even come back to Arlathan for a couple of other faction and region quests. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you next time.